My family will find a way to be together again.
I'm very honored to be telling Georgia Hunter's family's story, and I hope that people resonate, and I think they will, with how touching this family's account of their surviving is.
Throughout my childhood, I never knew that my grandfather came from a family of Holocaust survivors.
Adi!
Helena!
Adi!
A high school English teacher assigned us a project and said, go out and interview a relative and learn a little bit about your past to understand your roots.
Caroline, nice to meet you.
So I decided to sit down with my grandmother, Caroline, and over the course of that hour with her, my grandfather's story came to light and filled with lots of surprises. My grandfather came from a town in Poland called Radom. He was one of 5 siblings. At the start of the Holocaust, he was living in France. He was able to get out of France on a ship. That interview with my grandmother, I think, is when the curiosity was sparked, and I knew it was something I needed to learn more about.
Children give us the courage to face life. Yes, they make us more scared, but they also make us more strong.
5 years later, I ended up at a family reunion. My mom, who's Addie's middle child, she invited all of her cousins to come to this reunion and with their children. It was amazing, lots of music, lots of different kind of food being prepared. And one night of that reunion, all the cousins, my mom and her cousins, were gathered around a picnic table in the back, and I wandered out and sat down and realized they were telling stories about the war, and they were stories that were unlike anything I'd ever heard before. Jose was born in Siberia in the Gulag. Another cousin talked about false IDs and the ghetto and an escape.
If you get caught, it jeopardizes all of us.
I'm aware of the stakes, Adam.
The stories kept coming. The idea really solidified, okay, I want to know more about this, and I also think someone really needs to take the time to write them down. And I realized that everyone in the family, there were the 5 siblings, and their descendants had their own piece of the story, little bits that were passed down, little anecdotes here and there.
Even in the darkness, I see your love, and through your eyes, it shines.
I learned so much in the process of what was happening throughout Poland and Russia and in Dakar and Casablanca.
One of the things that we had a chance to explore is how far-flung this family could be. They felt like they were from all over the world, and so that's a reflection of the Jewish diaspora. There's something that often sends us away from home, and then the question is, who will take us in?
I didn't want to just understand how they survived and the history of what was going on from a political and military standpoint. I wanted to know what it felt like. I had to imagine all these details and then some to create the story and to create the atmosphere and the setting. This is a fictionalized account of a family that just wants to come around the dinner table again.
None of us know what the future holds.
I fell so deeply in love with this family at the center of this really harrowing story. I thought, you'll never have a chance to tell a story like this again.
I hope audiences feel like they're going on this journey with our family, and they feel all the happiness and sadness and heartbreak and elation that comes with the story.
We still lean on each other today. It's one of the beautiful things I've learned about my family throughout this process of researching and just getting to know relatives who I would never have gotten to know. I've spent weeks and weeks in their homes interviewing them, and since we've had many, many family reunions and Saturday Zooms, my number one piece of advice for everyone learning about their family histories is always try to ask questions. For me, it was transformative.
Whatever it is, we'll face it together.